It's finally time to look at the Guard and the Energy Hound, and that's of course Spinax and Maxilos. Let's get started. Greetings everyone, welcome back or welcome to the RobeTheMatoran channel, and today we're looking at set number 8924, Maxilos and Spinax. This set contains 256 pieces. This was released in the summer of 2007, and this set retails for $30. If you want this used, you're paying now up to $100, $115, and if you want a brand new sealed in box, you're paying $360 to $400. It's a massive jump on the price, but I don't think it's really worth paying it brand new sealed. I think you buying it used would be just fine, but we'll figure that out as we go along in this review. Maxilos robot were originally built by Artaka to be used by the Order of Matanui as a guard of the pit and on Daxia. However, the Maxilos robots all had left except for one. One was left behind, and this one was possessed by Makuta Pterodax. Spinax was an energy hound that was once owned by Hydraxon, but Hydraxon had given it to a Maxilos robot, the very same Maxilos robot that Makuta now possesses. Now, with that out of the way, let's get into the review. Unfortunately, I do not have the box or any instructions, so yet again, we're just sitting here with the set already finished, built, and already in your face, so there's no point of really sitting around lingering on this. Might as well just kind of get into the deep dive of the review, starting with Spinax. Spinax here, the fun little energy hound that is rather bland in color scheme, unfortunately. Yeah, I have to say that the color scheme is a little bland. If you like gray and several different shades of it, then this is the set for you on Spinax. Spinax here is just a pretty interesting Rahi though. Like, he's built almost like an actual mainline figure, and he's so well built that I think that he could actually probably be a set on his own. That's how I personally feel. I think he could be a set on his own. Just the color scheme is just a little bland is the best way I could describe it, and I think he works well with Maxilos because Maxilos has like that pop of color, but I think on his own it's just a little like visually boring because it's just gray and silver and different shades of gray and a little bit of black. I mean, very consistent. Very consistent color scheme. And he has the little red eyes. Okay, that's the slight other color he has, but it's so small that you really wouldn't even notice. I actually talk about the build itself, and like I said, the build is really good and has a lot of good pieces. Like, it actually brings back, I think this is the 4th time that we see the Elax spine, like rubber spine pieces, because they've been really putting these in a lot of sets in this line alone because they really like it. So this is like the 4th time I think we've seen it, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think the Paraka armor in silver is a recolor. I think this is new for him, like, because I'm really trying to think, and I don't recall seeing the silver Paraka armor anywhere else besides this set. I think this set is the first to introduce it, so that's a nice recolor on that. And the build itself is still simple. It's good to be a set on its own, but it is still rather simple, and the articulation is extremely simple. It's your standard articulation with, you know, arms and legs and feet and head, and the head is pretty interesting on how it works because one, it's a new mold, so it's not like a repeat piece that just recolor. No, it's a new mold, and it has the jaw function, which I really do like, and the head can go up, but kind of not. Like, it'll stop at a certain point, and it can swivel left and right like perfectly, and it can go down to a pretty good distance. Like, it's pretty articulate with the head, so no complaints there. He doesn't have any real like torso articulation, and I guess I never really noticed that until this set with Maxilos, so I'm now mentioning torso articulation only because of him, but anywhere else I wouldn't think about it, so I'm now bringing it here because of that. But it's, you know, good articulation. And now it's time for the heavyweight champ himself, and that is Maxilos, and he is a tall, big guy. Like, he's actually the biggest set out of all of them. Like, out of 2007, Maxilos is really big. Like, it's actually kind of crazy. I did not realize how big he was until I really compared him to other sets in this line. So he's quite the big guy, and he has a crazy good color scheme. Like, honestly, he has a lot of color. He does remind me of Makuta back in 2003. You know, remember that wave? Ironically, this is possessed by Makuta, so the fact that he has very similar color scheme to him, which is, some people may like that, some people don't, but I personally like it. I think that's really awesome. Like the red and the gunmetal color and a little bit of silver, very consistent throughout the entire set. Like from head to toe, he is very consistent. Like this is when Bionicle really start to have the color schemes really consistent, and nothing really broke it off too much. Now he does have the obligatory blue pin for the chain, just to be like, this is where you put the chain at on his hand. But other than that, he has a insanely incredible color scheme. Like it is solid, like through and through. Like there's no hiccups besides that one blue pin, which you can take off if you really don't like. And I wish they would just put a black or a red one, for then, you know, it would just make the color scheme look just absolutely perfect. They just don't, because I guess they think kids are just, you know, stupid, I guess. But anyway, he's very big and very bulky, very tall, very massive, and the only real problem with all that big biomass is, well, he's a little unstable. At least the version I have. He seems a little wobbly on the legs and the feet, and the feet has a lot of detail and a lot of like seemingly good stability. Like he has like basically 2 feet. Like he has the heel and the front toe, and you think that would be like a lot of support. And he has of course the knee brace piston pieces for his legs. And however, I struggle to keep him posed up and standing upright, especially on smooth surfaces. I feel like that's when he really starts to like crumble and fall over, and it's very unfortunate. It's very top heavy also, and I just hate that it's hard to keep him really in place and in a really cool position, only because he's kind of heavy and bulky and a little cumbersome to move around. But I still say it's really good. Like the articulation is like phenomenal. Like he brings a new level of articulation that I really wouldn't even expect in Bionicle. He really has torso articulation. Like he doesn't have a normal Anika, Paraka, or any torso. He has a like all brick built torso, and it's very articulate. He has pistons on his lats and like back muscles, or whatever you want to call it, and he can just move around in such these crazy poses. You can really like twist and angle him in the right way if you know how to do it, and it's really awesome. But it's also a shame if he can't contain his own weight sometimes. But other than that, I love his articulation. Like, yeah, he has his shoulder and arms and elbows and all that good stuff, but that torso articulation is just something else. Like, it just really just makes him stand out amongst a lot of other Bionicle sets, and I really do appreciate that LEGO has designed such a unique feature for him. Speaking of features, let's not forget about the Kodak blaster that he does come with, and thank God that he has a Kodak blaster and not a squid launcher, because my goodness, it would just be abominable if he had that, but he wouldn't even need it anyway. And plus, he is the only character that has the Kodak blaster completely match his color scheme, like to a T. Like, it actually works with him. Like it was meant for him. Like someone built this with that color scheme in mind, and it's so good. Wow, I can't believe that they actually made that Kodak blaster look so well on him. And yes, I want to mention a few recolors that he has, and some crazy pieces that he has recolored. Like he has 2 Vizon mask pieces in the gunmetal color for his shoulders. That is crazy to see. Like, it's something that you wouldn't even expect, but it works so well. Like, it's crazy, honestly. And he does have, I think, Kalma's foot in the gunmetal color too. And he brings back some Borak pieces, I think for Livakal. in gunmetal. I'm not sure which one. I know it's for the green Borak. I don't know the name, but that's definitely his piece in the gunmetal color. So he also has some nice recolor pieces on him, like a lot of them. He also brings back a Mata limb piece in the Mata red color, and just for his shoulders, and they really outdone themselves with this. This is a outstanding model, and I just can't help but really talk about it and say how much I love it. Awesome. He has this really big, huge weapon, and I know you probably see that slight little damage at the top, but when I bought it, it cracked, and I didn't have a replacement part in time to fix it for the review, but just don't mind it too much. But he has this awesome big blade piece, and it's kind of one-sided though, unfortunately, because when I look at it, it looks good from one side, but the other side, it looks kind of a bit flat. Like they probably should have put that little Hordika Torametsu armor piece on both just to kind of fix it out, just for it to look as odd, but that's just what they did. One last thing I want to talk about before I wrap this up is, yeah, the chain is deceptively short. Like on the box, if I had the chance to show the box shows it that it is like twice the length of the pieces you actually get in the set, and it's actually a bit misleading and borderline false advertising, so it's a bit misleading on that, and I do hate that, but it still looks good. It's just hard to play with them when you have them on the chain. Alright, now the final last thing, I just want to do a side-by-side comparison with the few other sets, just for you can really get what I'm saying when I say that Maxilos is very massive and he's very tall. Like, he is towering over even Hydraxon. Hydraxon's not the tallest, but out of the 2007 line, he's actually the tallest set. So, well, at least I thought he was, and Maxilos just completely towers over him by a good like 3 or 4 inches. Like, he is towering over him like a giant. He truly looks like a titan. In conclusion, what do I think of Maxilos and Spinax? Is it worth picking up? Is it worth going out your way to get it? And I will say, absolutely. This is one of these sets to get out of 2007. This is one of the sets to get, period. Like, honestly, if you don't get any other sets, I think you'll be pretty satisfied with this. Like, this looks good on any person's collection or whatever you're doing for Bionicle. I mean, you should definitely pick this one up. And the score I give this set will be a 9-1. This is that good of a set. It is. I think it breaks into the 9 sphere of good sets. This is really good. Like, definitely make an effort to pick this one up, because you're missing out if you do not pick this one up. So 9-1 is my score, and I believe I've said all I wanted to say about this set. So thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and possibly share it around. And join me next time when I look at the very controversial lime green Toa Lesovic. Once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I will bid you all adieu.
New from Bionicle. Now you can meet Gadunka, the Crusher. Hydraxon, the Jailer. Maxilos, the Guard. The Titans are joining the battle for the Mask of Life. That mask is mine. New Bionicle. Short movie and games on BionicleStory.com. Ask your parents first.